Yeah, we're live, Devin. What's up? Devin, smile. What's up? You want to record live? Sure. Alright, like, just hold it like this. What's up, B?
Go with your black marker.
Live streaming.
So first
It's live streaming.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you look the camera right now or put that side? Wait, David, Bruce.
Yeah, boy.
See you. What's up, Devin? Yeah, dog. Welcome to the CX chat. Hell.
I'm the cameraman, okay?
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm the cameraman, alright?
Hell yeah.
I'm waiting for everybody else to come in.
It's you?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dog. Hi. Hey, stop recording me.
Huh? Where's Kaylee? Oh, no. I'm going outside, dog. Devin, stop. It's gonna be obvious. It's gonna be, no, stay here. Yeah, hello to the chat, Kaylee. Nothing. She was surprised. So,
Help us bubble bass. Wait, say hi to Norman.
what's up, Norman? Hello, Norman. Yeah.
Am I in Norman? Yes. Why are you really alive? Oh, where?
What? The camera's right here.
Yeah, I know, but where?
I don't know.
Are you?
Wanted to.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. If I get in trouble, please. Oh, you're full.
Okay. David's supposed to be the cameraman.
No,
We're on live right now.
You're in live.
I know that. I don't care.
You're just behind your locker.
You just put your book bag in.
My book is right there.
Record no.
I don't have a locker.
Wait, you have to be. It has to be.
No.
See, Paolo?
No, I'm okay. Don't sing my name.
Paolo.
Oh, who's Paolo? I don't know who is it.
Record Amari.
Yeah. I got it back, boys. Well, the stream is more important. Sup, cuz. Alright, welcome to the live stream. No, you freaking tell me to give it. Live stream, boy.
I'm the cameraman. Whoa, say hi.
Wait, why are you so live? Why are you live? I don't understand. Autism.
Okay. Kaylee. Hi.
Sorry. Welcome to the CX. We're on live.
Let's be funny.
Kaylee, we're live. What? You're doing a Confederate hoodie. Daniel. Who's that? I didn't know it was Daniel.
Hold on. Here, hold this one. I'm gonna go see what's happening. Yeah, click on the lip. Let's see who's coming.
We're like stalkers.
Oh my god.
Can I go to your channel?
CX.
Daniel.
This is stalking.
You're Confederate?
Wait, what is this channel?
I'm Brandon's channel. It'll open! Wait, you guys got caught? We almost did. Yeah.
Open sesame.
It's like when the teacher comes in, put the phone down like on the desk. Not like put it down like this.
Sneaky.
So like that.
Put it like this.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
No.
Dude,
No.
put it like this. No, but that's not the point. We took permission.
Shut up. Let me see. I gotta give a link. Where's the? I need to share the link. Share.
No one's gonna watch you.
But where are you on?
What are you?
YouTube.
Get the link, Brandon. Get the link.
No, we're reconnecting. Okay, we're back again, boy.
You want a permanent marker on your eyebrow?
God. Kaylee's phone, it's mad laggy. Okay.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it's a few seconds back. You want to go to V's class and record?
You won't? Let's do it.
I'm not doing it.
Come on. You're supposed to hold up the camera. That we can use our phone to read the chat. But there's no chat. Look how
Derek's coming. Let me see. I got this. Go inside. Over there. Oh, over there. Whoa, Derek.
Well, Derek.
What's up? You're going high.
Oh, you're alive right now.
Oh, Derek.
We're there.
What's that fucking recording? Live on YouTube. Live on YouTube, my dude.
You're live on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the camera. I recorded this stick.
How you doing, Daryl?
Still recording?
Yeah.
Derek's gonna get.
On the camera, okay? On YouTube.
Miller, how are you?
Is he going? What? Is she there? Is she coming? Is someone coming?
That's the volume right now.
Fan stream? I'm gonna record everybody that
It's still recording. Just block it. Just block.
Haley, say hi. Lewis, say hi.
I'm ready.
Come on. Come here. You're on live right now.
Yo, record Giselle. Whoa, Giselle.
Oh, Giselle. Oh, look at her cover herself.
Do this in that class as well. Do this in the camera over under the bus.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why do you put her dagger here? She gave this how high? The 3 points is the new class.
I'll go to Kevin.
Huh?
I'm gonna go to Kevin.
Everybody's like, where is Gary? He's coming out of nowhere.
What's up, Kevin?
No, we're going to social studies. No, we're going to 128. What? Oh, and Mr. Coley, then Mr. Coley. You can't?
No.
Come on. Wait, what happened?
Oh my god.
No, boy. No.
I want to be in YouTube channel. I think we're recording for it.
Why is he recording this, dude?
What's up?
What's up, boy?
Why are you saying
Recording my.
whoa, Derek, stand behind me.
You're dumb. I don't care. No.
Let me see.
I'll give it. Don't give it.
Hello.
Whoa.
No.
So, I see it.
Giselle.
No, I'm not doing
Everyone.
Let me see.
Okay, we're about to go to another room.
I'll take it. I'll keep it.
This one? Huh? Like this? What? No. You look at stuff. Oh, okay.
Recording live on YouTube also. Yeah.
Fighting outside, and I thought that was hilarious. They were fighting over each other. That was funny.
Hi, Mom. Look. Hey.
What?
Say hi. You're on live on YouTube.
Cool. What's up?
Listen.
They're not there anymore. Well, they shows that left. It was funny. The Beggining.
Whoa, ramen! You're live. You're live. You're live. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah.
You're too ugly to be seen by camera. Bitch, give me your shirt.
Fine. Bear.
David, come over here. She's doing it's like over there.
No, it's not. It was right here. Under the book. Okay, here. No, I'm still recording.
That's so dumb.
So?
Not yet. Still recording?
Yeah.
You're back here recording.
I don't care.
You still recording? Oh, wait, ready? Ready? Oh, wait, ready?
She's sitting there. Gloria can't use her open gloves.
Won't you all?
You recording?
Nah, it is for no one. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god. It was good.
It's your boy Joel back here to do a video.
Yo. Yeah, you can say in your scene recording.
Oh my god,
Well, Frankie.
I put water in it and it got like
Wow.
I'm too fucking lazy to button, so you know. Hi, I'm not even with some other money.
Okay. Shut up, just shut up, please. We're doing this like a memory thing. Yeah, I'm still... The freaking lag on the thing. It's because the Wi-Fi.
It's our daily vlog.
So. She's not gonna notice it. She's not. Yeah, keep talking, guys.
Keep talking. The conversation.
Yo, do Coke. Say Coke.
Go.
Devin. Oh, we can zoom in the camera.
And I seen that lit video you posted on Discord. That was a shitty video.
No, the lit video I sent was just David doing. Devin. Devin. He's so black in this one. He's so black when I zoom in. 16-minute live stream. Wait, I need to zoom out the camera.
Yeah, zoom out.
How do I zoom it out?
It's already zoomed out. I don't know.
There we go.
You good? It's good? Technical difficulties.
It doesn't matter.
Oh!
Yeah. Whoa, Giselle. Oh yeah, we're just gonna record it.
Alright.
Giselle! Giselle.
Why did I do that?
I got that.
You got that. Wait, you're so fucking.
And I got you, boy.
You should be the one that make it more interesting. Make the one that.
Kid, we just received fucking rules for banquet. You want me to make a scene?
Why? Yo, Kevin, say you're trash.
You're
You're trash. I know.
0 views, 0.
I mean, the me. Carlin. Narlin. Normies. Normies.
Smack him.
I'm record my voice. Record Giselle. Because she doesn't want to be in it. Hey, just. Here. What did I do? You can't sue me.
Wait, Brandon, what's your YouTube channel?
Brandon 3.
Oh yeah, look
You're
at
so weird about it.
Look at the thickness right there, man.
Oh, I told you to flip the screen and I want everyone to see your face.
Oh.
You should name the video. Morning.
You guys are on page 541.
541. Let's do this. Let's do it quick. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, his boss are Mr. Frank, I'll be Mr. Frank.
I don't know.
Ileana, your aunt. Karen's not here for Margot.
I'll be Margot. Free money?
Okay.
Okay,
Kevin, you're Mrs. Frank.
you can take it. I don't care.
Derek, you're Mr. Van Dan.
Yeah.
Lewis, you're Mrs. Van Dan.
Yeah, so not obvious.
No, I got this. I got this.
Kevin, you're Mr. Fralin. Noah, are you going to try to be Peter today? I'm not sure if you have any lines. Let's go.
Good morning, staff and students. Today is Tuesday, May
Someone give
15th.
Noah a book.
Just a couple of reminders. Math team, period 2, you will be meeting with Mr. Powers and with 216, all math team members. Also, we have the end of the year paperwork that is due, so make sure you get that submitted in Talent Ed when you could. We greatly appreciate that. Today, after school, we will be having a track practice. Please meet in the gym. It will take place from 3 to 4. So students, make sure you let your parents know. The weather doesn't look good later, so it will be in the gymnasium from 3 to 4. Your contract and your forms are being drawn up right now. I will be speaking to the 8th grade team later, so we can pass those out. And teachers will be going over the contract that your behavior will allow you to go to the luncheon and do other things with the 8th grade at the end of the year. So that's it for my So I'm going to do, as usual, respectful, responsible, and safe. That includes keep your doors locked, keep your badges on, teachers, and check out uniform policy, and cell phones please put away, all away. And now at this time, if we could stand for the pledge.
Republic from which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and have a terrific Tuesday.
Still recording.
Cool. How get cooked?
One day. This stream is so shit.
I know.
It's so shit.
Well, he wants to do it, so.
Fun. We are on the second call. Mr. Frank rises. I blow out the candle. I'm sure that God understands shortages. Get out. Praise be thou, O Lord our God, who has sustained us and proved spectacle.
Mr. Polly?
Yes? Alright.
Make it wrong.
I'm not.
Okay, this part's very important. Why do you have two cards? Okay, put them away.
Mr. Polly?
Yes?
Can you send Carlos out to the office, please?
Which one?
Bolanos?
I didn't see him here yet today.
Not for yet.
No,
I need him in the office now.
I don't know if he's here.
He just signed in tardy.
Oh, okay. They're in 126.
Okay, thank you.
Director's
Just put a black screen in it. Yo, someone moan or something. Someone moan or something. I got that. Must. Your face.
You have a YouTube star in this bitch too. That's Devin.
I have a foot fetish. I should say that?
I have a must fetish.
I have a foot fetish.
I'm a normal person.
Yeah, boy.
I know, I have to come here because I have a lot of people ask for that.
Yo, cut that out.
Sorry. Brandon, be quiet.
Okay.
No, please leave her alone.
Didn't even touch you.
This is one dumb screen. Yo, he's recording on
None. He wants me to do it, so. Oh, that's 31. Yeah.
My name is Devin Reynolds. You're watching Discovery Channel. Yeah. Look at that napkin.
No.
I'd be so pissed if I were
The big bird.
No, the white cheddar.
God understands shortages. Before blowing it out, praise be thou, O Lord our God, who has sustained us and permitted us to celebrate this joyous festival. He is about to blow out the candle when suddenly there is a crash of something falling below. They all freeze in horror, motionless. For a few seconds, there is complete silence. Mr. Frank slips off his shoes. The others noiselessly follow his example. Mr. Frank turns out a light near him. He motions to Peter to turn off the center lamp. Peter tries to reach it, realizes he cannot, and gets up on a chair. Just as he is touching the lamp, he loses his balance. Are you acting it out for us?
No.
Okay. The chair goes out from under him. He falls. The iron lampshade crashes to the floor. There is a sound of feet running below down the stairs.
God almighty.
The only light left comes from the Hanukkah candle. Dussel comes from his room. Mr. Frank creeps over to the stairwell and stands, listening. The dog is heard barking excitedly.
Do you hear anything?
Mr. Frank, in a whisper, no, I think they've gone.
It's the green police. They found us.
If they had, they wouldn't have left. They'd be up here by now.
I know it's the green police. They got to help. That's all. They'll be back.
Or it may have been the what? Gestapo looking for papers.
Mr. Frank interrupted. Or a thief looking for money.
We have to do something. Quick. Before they can't come back.
There isn't anything to do.
Spooky, where's our money? Get our money. I hear you can buy the green police so much ahead. Go upstairs quick. Get the monies.
Keep still. Still?
He goes over to the stairwell to listen. Peter goes to his mother, helping her up onto the sofa. There is a second of silence, then Anne can't stand it no more.
Someone go after Father. Make Father come back.
Peter starts the door.
Haven't you done enough?
He pushes Peter roughly away. In his anger against his father, Peter grabs a chair as if to hit him with it, then puts it down, burying his face in his hands. Frank begins to pray softly.
Please, Mr. Lincoln. Father.
Quiet.
Anne is shocked into silence. Mrs. Frank pulls her closer, holding her protectively in her arms. Mrs. Frank softly praying.
Out of my eyes, cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be in that. Keep it, and he will not.
She stops as she hears someone coming. They all watch the door tensely. Mr. Frank comes quietly in. Anne rushes to him, holding him tight. It was a thief. That noise must have scared away.
Thank God.
He took the cash box and the radio. He ran away in such a hurry that he didn't stop to shut the street door. It was swinging wide open. A breath of relief sweeps over them. I think it would be good to have some light.
Are you sure it's all right?
The danger has passed. Margot goes in to light the small lamp. Don't be so terrified, Anne. We're safe.
Who says the danger has passed? Don't you realize we are in greater danger than Eve ever?
Mr. Dussel, will you be still? Mr. Frank takes Anne back to the table, making her sit down and trying to calm her. Dussel, pointing to Peter.
Next to this crumbly fool, there's someone now who knows where up to. Someone now knows where up to. Hiding.
Mrs. Van Dam going to Dussel.
Someone knows we're here, yeah. But who is this someone? A thief? A thief? You think a thief is going to go to the green police and say, I was robbing the place the other night and I heard a noise over my head? You think a thief is going to do that?
Yes, I think he will.
Mrs. Van Dam, hysterically.
You're crazy.
She stumbles back to her seat at the table. Peter follows protectively, pushing Dussel aside.
I think someday he'll be caught and then he'll make a bargain with the green police. If they'll let him off, he'll tell them where some Jews are hiding.
He goes off into the bedroom. There is a second of appalled silence.
He's right.
Father, let's get out of here. We can't stay here now. Let's go.
Go where?
Mrs. Frank sinking into her chair at the table.
Yes, where?
Mr. Frank rises to them all. Have we lost all faith, all courage? A moment ago we thought that they'd come for us. We were sure it was the end. But it wasn't the end. We're alive, safe. Mr. Van Dam goes to the table and sits. Mr. Frank prays. We thank thee, thou, O Lord our God, that in thy infinite mercy thou hast seen fit to spare us. He blows out the candle, then turns to Anne. Come on, Anne, the song. Let's have the song. He starts to sing. Anne finally starting to sing. And as Mr. Frank urges her on, her voice is hardly audible at first. Anne singing. You have to sing.
Sing.
Oh, Hanukkah, the sweet.
Gradually join in. Their voices still shaking with fear. Mrs. Van Dam sobs as she sings. Now we all sing.
Around the feast, we gather in complete jubilation. Happy sweet song, now is here. Many are reason the good cheer.
Dussel comes from the bedroom. He comes over to the table, standing beside Margaret, listening to them as they sing.
Together we'll weather tomorrow make great.
As they sing on with growing courage, the lights start to dim.
So here we us rejoicing and merrily voicing the Hanukkah song that we sing. Holy!
The lights are out, the curtains start to slowly fall.
Hear us rejoicing and merrily voicing the Hanukkah song that we sing.
They are still singing as the curtain falls. The curtain.
That was so lit.
Yay.
Wow, you guys are.
We can if we want to. Let's just go over a few of these questions. I'm not going to make you write it down if I get good participation. If I don't, it'll become a random thing. Raise your hand. How do the people in the annex get food and supplies? Ashley, raise your hand. Okay, from Meep and who else? Mr. Kraler, raise your hands. But how did Mr. Kraler getting those supplies? The ration books. How did they get the ration books?
They waited till night?
Well, yes, they brought them up at night, but how did they get those ration books? Yeah, they're not Jewish, but every person gets like one ration book, so how did they get extra? Where did they buy them? The black market, good. Okay, they're illegal. The ration books are... Why do some of the people in the annex complain about Anne? Let's go through each character. Mr. Frank doesn't complain about her. What is Mrs. Frank's complaint about Anne? Raise your hand. Mordecai? Exactly. Anne doesn't get along with her mom. She never wants her mom to help her. She doesn't show her enough love. Why does Mr. Van Dam complain about Anne? Raise your hand. Jake, is that a hand raise?
Most.
Okay, she's always talking.
Yep.
She's always also doing what when he's fighting with Mrs. Van Dam? She's always instigating and butting in to people's business. What does Peter say about Anne? What's his complaint?
She's a duck.
Well, she's a duck. This is quack quack, which means what? She talks too much. And what about Mr. Dussel? What's his big complaint with her? She hurt
She's
Sarah.
loud.
Yep, all night long. She's loud.
Whoa,
Why does Mr. Frank Why does Mr. Frank say that the loud air raids should be music to their ears? What does that mean? The loud air raids, when they hear the other airplanes raiding in on them, why is that music to their ears? Ileana?
Because it means the war is ending.
Exactly. Right? It means the war will hopefully end soon. Okay? Nice job. Let's move right on to Act 2, Scene 1. Does anyone want to switch roles? Okay, so we'll just keep it going. Act 2, Scene 1. In the darkness, we hear Anne's voice again, reading from the diary.
Saturday, the 1st of January, 1942. Another new year has begun, and we find ourselves still in our happy place. We have been here now for 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days.
So it's a year later, a year after that feast came in. Okay, it's the 1st of January. They were just celebrating Hanukkah, but a year before that. So a whole entire year has gone by.
It seems that our life is at a standstill.
The curtain rises on the scene. It is late afternoon. Everyone is bundled up against the cold. In the main room, Mrs. Frank is taking down the laundry, which is hung across the back. Mr. Frank sits in the chair down left, reading. Margot is lying on the couch with a blanket over her and the many-colored knitted scarf around her throat. Anne is seated at the center table, writing in her diary. Peter, Mr. and Mrs. Van Dam, and Dussel are all in their own rooms, reading or lying down. As the lights dim on, Anne's voice continues without a break.
We are all a little thin. The Van Dam, one great change, however, a change in myself. I read somewhere that girls my age don't feel quite certain of themselves, because it comes again and begin to think of the miracle that has taken place in their body. I think that's what is happening to me. I think that what happened to me is so wonderful. Not only what he's seen, but what is taking place inside. Each time it has happened, I have a feeling that I have a sweet secret.
We hear the chimes and then a hymn being played on the carry-on outside.
And in spite of anything, I long to be harmed when I felt that it was a little bit.
The buzzer of the door below suddenly sounds. Everyone is startled. Mr. Frank tiptoes cautiously to the top of the steps and listens. Again the buzzer sounds in Meek's V for victory signal. It's Meek. He goes quietly down the steps to unbolt the door. Mrs. Frank calls upstairs to the Van Dam, then to Peter.
Look up, everyone. Meek is here.
Anne quickly puts her diary away. Margot sits up, pulling the blanket around her shoulders. Mr. Dussel sits on the edge of his bed, listening, disgruntled. Meek comes up the steps, followed by Mr. Kramer. They bring flowers, books, newspapers, etc. Anne rushes to Meek, throwing her arms affectionately around her.
Meek and Mr. Kriller, we're gonna like what's surprise. We came to bring this New Year's greeting. You should have at least one day for
Meek, giving her the flowers.
There you are.
Then to Margot, feeling her forehead.
How are you, Marlo? Feeling any better?
I am all right.
You filled her full of every kind of soap with no coffee with you.
She runs into her room to put the flowers and water. Mr. and Mrs. Van Dam come from upstairs. Outside, there is the sound of a band playing.
Well, hello, me, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Crater giving a bouquet of flowers to Mrs. Van Dam.
Me.
with my hope for peace.
Me.
Peter anxiously.
Meek, have you seen Mushy? Have you seen him anywhere around?
I'm sorry, Peter. I like that everyone in the neighborhood had a great cat, but they said no.
Where's Moochie?
The cat.
Where's Moochie?
Walk down.
Who? Remember, Mr. Vincent said I'm getting rid of the cat. Mrs. Frank gives Eve a cup of tea. Mr. Frank comes up the steps carrying a small cake on a plate. Look what Meeks brought for us. Mrs. Frank taking it.
Okay.
No.
Mr. Oh, sorry.
Huh?
No, I was just
Wait a
making
minute,
sure.
who sold the
Go.
cat?
Oh,
Wait,
okay. A cake.
He pinches Meek's cheek gaily and hurries up to the cupboard.
I'll get some plates.
Dussel in his room hastily puts a coat on and starts out to join the others.
Thank you, VP. You shouldn't have done it. You must have used all of your sugar especially for weeks.
Giving it to Mrs. Van Dam.
It's cheerful, isn't it?
It's been ages since I even saw a cake. Not since you brought us one last year.
Without looking at the cake, to me.
Don't you remember you gave us one on New Year's Day? Just this time last year. I'll never forget who you had. Peace in 1943 on it.
She looks at the cake and reads.
Peace in 1944.
Well, they have to come sometime, you know.
As Dussel comes from his room.
Me.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Evans.
Me.
You show my cat.
Trailer.
How are you?
Mr. Van Dam bringing plates and a knife.
Here's a knife for Lizzie. Now, how many of us are there?
None for me, thank you.
Oh, please, you must.
Must
I said
Good. At least 1, 2, 3, 7 of us.
8. It's the same number as it always is.
I left Margot out. I take it for granted Margot won't eat anything.
Why wouldn't she?
I think it won't harm her.
All right. I just didn't want her to start coughing again, that's all.
And please, Mrs. Frank should cut the cake.
What's the difference?
It's not Mrs. Frank's cake, is it? It's for all of us.
Mrs. Frank divides things better.
Mrs. Van Dam going to Dussel.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, come on. Stop wasting time.
Mrs. Van Dam to Dussel.
Don't I always
What's
give? Don't I always give everybody exactly the same? Don't I?
Riggedick. Curly.
No, I want an answer, don't I?
Yes. Everybody gets exactly the same. Except Mr. Van Dam always gets a little bit more.
Mr. Van Dam advances on Dussel, the knife still in his hand.
That's a lie.
Dussel retreats before the onslaught of the Van Dams. Please, Mr. Van Dam hands Frank the knife.
Here you are, Mrs. Frank.
Then Steve, I should cut the cake.
Are you sure you don't have some?
no, really, I have to go in a minute.
The sound of the band fades out in the distance. Peter to me.
Maybe when she went back to our house. They say that cats. Do you ever get over there? I mean, do you suppose you could?
I'll try, Peter. The first minute I get outside. But I'm afraid with him, gone weak.
Get your mind over it. Someone has a nice big dinner from that cat.
Peter is furious, inarticulate. He starts toward Dussel as if to hit him. Mr. Frank stops him. Mrs. Frank quickly to ease the tension. Mrs. Frank to me.
Listen to me.
Mrs. Van Dam eating hers.
Delicious!
Mr. Van Dam finishing it in one gulp.
There's in luck to get a girl who can bake like this.
Me putting down her empty teacup.
Remember now what everyone's doing and what you have eaten everything, so you can tell us tomorrow. I'll give you a full report.
Mr. Van Dam to me.
Just a minute. There's something I'd like you to do for me.
He hurries off up the stairs to his room. Mrs. Van Dam sharply.
Louis. Miss Van Dam sharply.
Under 170.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
You go back.
It's okay.
549.
No, wait, okay. Cootie, where are you going?
She rushes up the stairs after him, calling hysterically.
What do you want? Cootie, what do you want to do?
Me to Peter.
What's wrong?
Peter, his sympathy is with his mother.
Father says he's going to sell her fur coat. She's crazy about that old fur coat.
Is it possible? Is it possible that anyone is so silly as to worry about a fur coat when times like this?
It's none of your darn business. and if you say one more thing, I'll take you and I mean it.
There is a piercing scream from Mrs. Van Dam. Mrs. Van Dam, there's a piercing. She grabs up the fur coat as Mr. Van Dam is starting downstairs with it.
No, don't you dare take that. You hear? It's mine.
Okay, enough. Sorry, Louis. They're ruining your beautiful performance.
It's mine.
Downstairs, Peter turns away, embarrassed and miserable.
My father gave me that. You didn't give it to me. You have no right. Let go of it. You hear?
Mr. Van Dam pulls the coat from her hands and hurries downstairs. Mrs. Van Dam sits to the floor sobbing. As Mr. Van Dam comes into the main room, the others look away, embarrassed for him. Mr. Van Dam to Mr. Kraler.
Just a little discussion of advisability of selling this coat. As I have often reminded Mrs. Van Dam, it's very selfless of her to keep it when people outside are here, such this desperate needing of clothing.
He gives the coat to me.
So, if you will please to sell it for us, it should fetch a good price. And by the way, will you give me some cigarettes? I don't care what kind they are. Get all you can.
It's terrible difficult to get them, Mr. Van Dam, but I will try to buy it.
She goes. Mr. Frank follows her down the steps to bolt the door after her. Mrs. Frank gives Mr. Kraler a cup of tea.
So you want to have some cake, Mr. Taylor? I better know.
You're still feeling badly? What does your doctor say?
I haven't been to him. No, Mr. Kraler.
Mr. Kraler sitting at the table, girl.
Oh, I tried, but you can't get a near doctor these days. They're so busy. After weeks, I finally managed to get one on the telephone. I told him I'd like an appointment. I wasn't feeling very well. You know what he answers over the telephone? Stick out your tongue.
They laugh. He turns to Mr. Frank as Mr. Frank comes back.
I have some contracts here. I wonder if you looked over them.
Mr. Frank putting out his hand. Oh, sorry, that's me. Of course. Mr. Kraler, he rises.
If we could go downstairs,
Mr. Frank starts ahead. Mr. Kraler speaks to the others.
will you forgive us? I won't keep him, but a minute.
He starts to follow Mr. Frank down the steps. Margot, with sudden foreboding.
What happened? Something has happened, hasn't it, Mr. Kraler?
Mr. Kraler stops and comes back, trying to reassure Margot with the pretense of casualness.
No, really. I want your father's advice.
Something's going on. I know it. That's my line.
Oh, she's back.
Which-
Yeah, let her be her part.
Okay.
Mr. Frank coming back to Mr. Kraler. If it's something that concerns us here, it's better that we all hear it. Mr. Kraler turning to him quietly.
But the children.
What they'd imagine would be worse than any reality. As Mr. Kraler speaks, they all listen with intense apprehension. Mrs. Van Dam comes down the stairs and sits on the bottom step.
It's a man in the storeroom. I don't know whether or not you remember him. Colonel, about 50, heavy set, nearsighted. He came with us just before you left.
He was from Utrecht?
That's the man. A couple of weeks ago when I was in the storeroom, he closed the door and asked me, "How's Mr. Frank? What do you hear from Mr. Frank?" I told him I only knew there was a rumor that you wanted to switch him. He said he heard that rumor too, but he thought I might know something more. I didn't pay any attention to it, but then a thing happened yesterday. He brought some invoices to the office for me.
Not Randy.
Whoa, Derek. Whoa, Derek.
So here, this employee is robbing his own store. And now what is the employee doing? He implied that he remembered there was a book there. He implied, "Where's Mr. Frank?" And then he says, "Oh, by the way, I want $20 more a week." He's blackmailing them. Mr. Van Dam, go ahead.
Blackmail.
20 guilders. Very modest blackmail.
That's just the beginning.
Dussel coming to Mr. Frank.
You know what I think? He was a thief who was down there that night. That's how he knows we're here.
Mr. Frank to Mr. Kraler. How was it last? What did him?
I said I had to think about it. What can I do? Pay him the money? Take a chance to find him? Or what? I don't know.
Dussel, frantic.
For God's sake, don't fire him. Pay him what he asks. Keep him here, where you can have your eye on him.
Is it so much that he's asking? What are they paying nowadays?
You could get it in a war pit. But this isn't a war pit, mind you. I don't know if he really knows them, if he doesn't know.
Offer him half. Then we'll soon find out if it's blackmail or not.
And if it is, we've got to pay it, haven't we? Anything he asks, we've got to pay.
Let's decide that when the time comes.
This may all be my imagination. You got a point stage where you suspect everyone and everything. And some simple look aware.
The telephone rings in the office below. Mrs. Van Dam hurrying to Mr. Kraler.
There's a telephone. What does that mean? Telephone ring at a holiday.
That's one way. I told her I had to go over some cases in my office. Call me there when she got out of church.
He starts out.
I'll offer him half the buy. We'll hold for it.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there. You guys can go.
Wow.
Tomorrow.
Yes. I think we gotta turn off the stream for now.
I think we gotta turn off the stream because we're going to Miss Holden's class.
Yeah.
Don't turn off yet. Don't turn off yet.
Yo, how do you post it?
Keep recording.
It's gonna be boring.
Yeah, it's been there for like an hour.
Keep recording. Keep recording to the hallway. No.
Yo, who wants to hold it then?
Yo, your finger looks nice and nasty.
Sup? Yo, Miss Holden's gonna take it. Let me,
No, don't cancel yet. Just turn it on when you get inside, okay?
yeah, but she's gonna take it.
Record over here. Record over here. Record over here.
Wait, how do I? Are you sure you want to stop streaming?
No, record over here. Record over here.
Stop.
Record over here. Let the people come in.
Hey, Randy. We're live streaming.
Welcome to CX.